Okay, this is a story about Buenaventura, Colombia, which for me was probably one of the toughest places I'd ever been in, not counting Vietnam. Buenaventura, Colombia was just like wild, wild west. I mean, it was unbelievable. So we'd come in alongside the dock, and one day they were taking census, so we couldn't go ashore. No one could go leave. Anybody that was out on the street was put in jail. So they had everybody in these homes, and then the guy would go from one house to the next, to the next, to the next. You could see these guys walking up the street, counting the people, and that's how they did the whole country that way for one day. They had everybody inside, and that was it. So the next day they let us out, so I go up into town. Now I'm going to go to a movie theater. So in Buenaventura, the movie theater is notorious for fleas, bugs, whatever, you know, and it's always crowded. And they had, I remember this, they were playing a Japanese Godzilla movie. I mean, that's how bad it was, but the place was packed. So when I bought the ticket, you had a way of taking your pants cuff and sticking it underneath your sock so that the fleas couldn't get up in there, you know. So I buy the ticket, I stick my pants on, and I go to sit down, and they give me an orange crate because the whole place is full. So the orange crate, I'm sitting on the orange crate over on the side watching this movie. I mean, it's a really bad movie. And so there's a seat dead center that's empty. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to go there anyhow, you know. So anyhow, this other guy from the ship comes in, and he marches down the aisle and busts across the aisle and gets to the seat. He's still standing up, and everybody's kind of, oh, you know, screaming at this guy. So this guy takes out a bottle of Raid, a can of Raid, and he sprays his seat with a can of Raid. Okay, and then this guy's complaining, that guy's complaining, so he sprays him, and he sprays him, and there's a holy shit. So these two guys get up and leave. This guy sits down, and I'm thinking this guy's got to be out of his mind, because pretty soon on both sides of the aisles, here come the police, boom, 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 down. They grab this guy, yank him out. He's screaming, you know, what did I do? And I never did see that guy again. That happened a lot. When you hit the bucket over there, you kind of disappeared for a while. And that was that. So the next day, or that night, I go up to on the hill there. There was I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a joint, and it has a little bit of everything in it. And this place was, the drug thing was just starting up. So this was like the early 70s. So the drug thing's getting going. A lot of cocaine, a lot of drugs there. So anyhow, these guys locals are having fun with this little boy, and they're trying to make a little dog and pony trick with the little boy and the dog, you know, and they're trying to get them to go together and everything. So I didn't like that at all, so I went in and grabbed the boy and took him outside, and outside there was all these ladies who were waiting, and they're all teared up, so I hand them the boy, and then I leave. I go down, and then somebody came to the door and said, don't ever come back, and all that kind of stuff. So I leave. I go down the hill, and I go back to another bar, and then I go back to the ship. The next day, I'm walking around. I can't go back up there because they told me not to come back, so I'm walking around in the plaza, sitting on a bench, and this guy comes up to me, a local policeman, plain clothes, and he says, we want to go up there. We saw what happened last night. We want you to help us. We want to go. You can save lives if you walk in. He says, this is the plan. You walk in, and you walk out, and then make marks on this piece of paper where everybody's standing, and then we'll run in and we'll capture them and we can arrest them. So okay, so I go in there, and these guys are going, get the hell out of here, you bum! Get, you know, we don't want you in here. Get out of here! So I turn around, and walk out. Well, outside there's about 18 policemen, and they're all standing there, and I'm making little X marks. As soon as this guy sees the X marks, he runs in. This guy runs. That guy runs in. They all run in. They killed like 6 guys. They just shot them. Jesus Christ. So I'm getting out of here. So I leave, and I'm going down the street, and it's on the hill, so I'm going down the hill. I get in this taxi cab, which was a 49 Plymouth. Now, the taxi cab's going down the hill. All of a sudden, it's like this Buick comes down and bams into the taxi cab, you know, and this guy's got a gun out the window, and he's shooting at the 49 Plymouth, shooting at me. So it was a holy cow. So the guy driving the 49 Plymouth takes off really fast, and then slams on the brakes and says, get out, you're done, I'm done, get out. So I get out, and I run through this house, and these people are eating lunch, and I run around the table, and they're looking at me, and they got a fork to their mouth, like, they run around the table and jump over the side of the house, the railing, and they live on the side of a cliff. I didn't realize that. So I slide all the way down to the bottom of this cliff, and I always felt at any moment the bullet's going to come crashing through me, you know, because the guy's going to be standing up there, easy pickings. So I get to the bottom, I'm all beat up, so then I run down the ravine, work my way back to the ship and go ashore, and go back onto the ship, and again stay there until it sails, you know. So that's the Buenaventura story.